Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the Universal Laws series, The Laws and Wealth. And today's law is the law of cause and effect. And I love this law. Now, it's so ridiculous because I probably have said this every single video, which I can't even go back and watch them all because I'm sure that I repeat that, but I really feel that way. Good morning. I really feel like as I land into each of these laws, all of these laws, there are 100 laws. There are so many universal laws. But these that I've chosen for this series, they're my absolute favorite because they're the ones that can help interrupt our old pattern thinking and our old pattern behavior in order to completely change the results of our lives. These are the laws that, when mastered, when integrated into your being, when you live by them, your life opens up in a way that is continually evolving. You don't go back. Once you really let these laws integrate, your life is forever changed. I've never experienced anything quite like that. Now, I use the laws and my team uses the laws, and so many of our coaches, we use the laws in combination with our other programs. So we take things like really incredible tools that help us shift out of patterns, that help us fulfill the laws, that help us work with the laws. We take those tools and merge them with the universal laws. And when we do that, there's an acceleration of things that is unreal. Yes, Happy New Week. It's absolutely unreal, the possibilities in that. You take something like numerology that on the surface can feel like it's anecdotal or interesting, or oh, that's fun to learn about me, but you take that and you apply the universal laws and your whole world changes. All of a sudden you have information that helps you leverage the universal laws in a way that's precise, accurate, and gets you the feedback and the results that you're really craving. So the universal laws are a really big deal because they hold our world together. Yes, obviously, but a big deal to know because they help you master your life experience. They help you live an extraordinary life. They help you really tap into the magic that was meant for you. They help you be the best you because they help you remember who you are. They help you understand that you fit into all of this, that these laws are about the universe and you are part of the universe. So let's get to the law of cause and effect, because the law of cause and effect is incredibly powerful because it helps us put together some things we know about divine timing, right? We understand that in divine timing, there are certain stages that we become aware of something, we accept certain pieces, we make decisions. That piece right there is cause. The first part of divine timing is cause. So cause is important because we can either be in a place where we're aware of cause and effect from the proper perspective, or we think cause and effect is something caused by our actions. So most people believe that when I take an action, like if I drop a ball on the ground, it will roll, right? That seems like cause and effect. Simple, right? Any scientist, any third grader can tell you what cause and effect is, right? Except for it doesn't work that way because you can't actually predict all the results. You can't predict the results because you're not, when we're looking at that, when we're looking at an action only, we're not seeing what's really causing that action. There's something before that. There's a feeling state before that cause or before that action, which is the actual cause. So it's important to understand that. This is something we work with our clients for months at a time to really integrate this in our personal awareness, that to become the cause of our reality is amazing, right? So the cause of our reality, if you're focused on that physical aspect, I drop a ball, it rolls, duh. If that's what you believe about cause and effect, then when you hear things like the law of attraction and you think about all these things that you can do, if I just have the right mindset, if I just shift the way that I'm thinking about things, yeah, awesome. Except there's more to it than that. But if you don't know that, then you get inconsistent results and then you don't trust life. And you're like, wow, well, I must not have done it well enough or good enough. I must need to throw better. I must need to work with somebody to help me get a better, I must be able to drop the ball better, or, whatever you need to get, the top 42 funnels for success and ad campaigns and all the things, right? It's like all the things. You have to buy all the things because you've got to get the right cause. And then the causes keep moving. They're like this moving target. So this cause worked once before because we were tapping into, the NLP and the psychology of things. And so that will work. And so we keep leaning into all these things that we think are the cause of our success, but they're not the cause. And that's why they keep changing. That's why the physical things constantly change. The physical things that work, they work now, but then they don't work later. They work. This one works. Now you got to tweak it and work like this because now people see through that, and on and on and on. Drives me crazy. So all that energy is a wasted focus. It's a hope and a prayer. It's hoping that the cause works for you. It's hoping that it works for you, right? And so many people are like, well, that doesn't work for me. It doesn't work for you because it's not the actual cause to the effects that you want. It doesn't actually bring in the results. No one can say, do X, Y, and Z this way, and it'll get you those results. It doesn't work that way. It might work for some. It won't work for all. So what will work for all is learning about cause, which is something earlier that happens in your thinking feeling. It happens from inspiration. So if you really want to tap into cause and effect, you learn to listen to inspiration, to activate it and to listen to it. I can definitely am getting fired up. I can feel, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, can feel my own stuff clearing. But I warned you, I told you I love this law because it really does open up everything. So I'll tell you a little bit about, some of the experiences I've had with it and the shifting that I've had. In that once upon a time, I believed in doing the things. And I hired somebody to do all the things to move a meditation program into the world. I wanted to, work with people privately and meditate and do some coaching and do some numerology. And this was really early in my business. And I hired somebody to create the funnel for it. We were going to create all the pieces, all the logistics, all of the things, right? We created all the things and they were so beautiful. In fact, I had the most beautiful video, had the right lighting, the right makeup, the right hair, the right clothes. Then I had the right, system for, check this box, then you get this and you get a freebie. And then, oh, it was so pretty. And you know what? No one saw it. It didn't work. It wasn't effective. Nothing happened except for I got clear about my message. It became something, but it became something because I shifted the cause. The cause of any success that I was going to have in my business, any success at creating impact, was only going to come from my desire to be of impact and to really become the energetic cause, my mental, emotional cause. So fast forward, several years, maybe 5 or 6 years after that, I repackaged all of that from an inspiration that I wanted to share that with the world in order to create ripples of change. And I was so inspired by it that I ended up doing it in a way that felt really good to me. And I taught it live and we've moved thousands of people through that program. So the cause changes everything. The material didn't change. The outcomes that were possible didn't change. The cause in which I took action changed. Still put it out technically, still moved it out into the world, still did lots of the things, but I changed how I thought and felt about it. It's really important. So I stumbled on this actually accidentally in the beginning of my career when I was an affiliate salesperson. I used to sell for wellness products. So in the beginning of my coaching, I was a wellness coach. I think a lot of you know the story. I was on Dr. Phil. I'd lost 100 pounds. I was inspiring people to love themselves, actually through their bodies, to fall in love with their bodies, to fall in love with who they are in order to shift the body dynamic, in order to lose the weight, to feel better, to have a better experience. And so with that, what I would do is also recommend supplements or certain products and things like that. And I was an affiliate for those products. They were really complementary and it worked really well. So one of the product lines that I offered to people, it was totally because I just wanted to be of value. I happened to sign up as an affiliate, so I thought, well, might as well reap some of the benefit of the referral. And so I started to just share it openly. Like these are the results that I get. I love it. I really think this will help you because as you're busy loving yourself and, deciding that you really care about who you are, I highly recommend using this lotion and it's non-toxic. And, so I would just make those recommendations, just loving shares. I ended up being the number 3 salesperson for this huge organization. I started to create, 5-figure months that I had never experienced before. It was amazing. And all of that by what I thought was accident, but it was by cause. There was nothing accidental about it. My cause was in alignment with the effects. It impacted people. People's lives were impacted and the wealth followed. So when we're thinking about wealth, so often it's, I need to do this and to do that. And if I have 400 people, then I'll sell to 200 and then we'll do this. And then it'll be this amount of money. And it's all focused on the algorithms, the dollars, the conversions, and people become numbers. And the precise unfolding of that becomes more important than the impact of why you're even doing what you're doing. So if you get back to that energy, then you can create extraordinary wealth. So for most people, that doesn't work. Awesome, or you have to spend so much money to do it and you really manipulate that, and then it's short term. So even if you can get it to work short term, you might have a short term burst, but then it eventually fizzles out. And you'll remember when I talk about this with other energies, because you're not working with strong force energy, because you're working with weak force energy, it fizzles out and it goes into entropy because you're not focused on the proper cause. You have to stay focused on the physical, and that becomes exhausting, and people do shift and change, and it creates that breakdown. So it ends up betraying you when you put all of your eggs in the basket of the outside world. When you say the outside world knows better than I, that the cause is outside of me, then you can expect breakdown. You can expect things to fall apart. So let's talk about this from the place of inspiration. Inspiration just shows up. Inspiration guides you in what to do. I remember working with one of my clients. She's been a client for a long time. I won't say who she is, but she's probably watching. Love her. But for the longest time in the beginning of her career, when she first came to me, she was so focused on doing certain things, taking action. She was so focused on, if I create this group and then I do this, and then I, create this space for this person, and then I bring in all these people in and I borrow all of their network. And, if I bring in all these other people who are doing things, then that will make a difference for me. And so she did all of these things, tried all of these things, and just kept, throwing things against the wall, right? They say, throw things against the wall and see which one sticks. That was what she was doing. And then we started to work together, and I started to show her, you're the actual cause. You're here for something bigger than throwing stuff against the wall. You didn't come here just to experience dollars. You came here to experience change, impact, to shift things, to be a part of creating a whole new expansive world. You didn't come here to throw things against the wall. Like, that's not going to leave you with any inspiration. And so I worked with her to focus her attention further inside, to really understand herself, and then apply that in a practical way in order to be the cause of the actions she took in the future. Completely shifted her business. She's, well on her way to beyond six figures, doing incredibly well, not because she's doing more, but because she's doing it from the place of cause. So cause and effect, incredibly important.